But I mean, I do miss Church's Chicken. That was like really, really good. But on a total unrelated note, I weighed myself after I pooped this afternoon, and I lost like half a pound.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that.
Yep. So welcome everyone.
Yes. Hi.
Welcome Noah. Nice to see you there with us.
Hello.
Hi. Did I forget to unmute you?
Yes, you did.
No, I unmuted myself. It's okay.
Okay.
We missed you, Noah.
Yes.
I missed you guys. I love you guys.
No, we're not taking it that far.
No.
Oh, dang.
So,
Okay. Well.
Yep. Well, welcome to another episode of Observed Chaos.
Yeah, what's the name of our podcast again?
Yeah, I don't even remember anymore.
Carry out
time,
chaos or something.
That's something like that. I was sitting here because I usually write notes on kind of like general topic notes on what we're going to talk about. And the entire time that I was typing them out, I kept saying carry out conversation.
Yeah.
Which, for those who don't know, that was our original podcast for, 2 years?
Two seasons.
Yeah, this is like your third season actually being together. But our first season as Controlled Chaos, we kind of kept with the CC, if you can't tell. Better than the KKs, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, we are a very random podcast. And Noah looks super enthused to be here already.
Yes.
Well,
He's truly excited.
you got the name of our new podcast wrong. That's why I'm laughing.
What did I say?
You said Controlled Chaos. It's called Observed Chaos.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, it is Observed Chaos.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
scratch all of that.
You used the false name to make a KKK joke.
Okay, I didn't make the KKK joke. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, it made itself.
Yeah, because you said the words that made it happen. Therefore, you made the joke.
Yeah, well. The fact that I can't even remember her name half the time, that just says something.
Right.
What's the topic, gentlemen?
Things we miss.
Yeah, things
Yeah.
we grew up with that are just no longer there anymore.
Yes.
So, what's the one thing that we miss more than anything?
My mind right now.
Yeah, not having to pay bills.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
I don't really have to pay many bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Wait till you have a
I have to pay
mortgage.
some.
Welcome
I have
to
to pay for
adulthood.
like college.
It
right?
sucks.
I have college I have to pay for.
I have a mortgage.
I have rent and car payment and bills and other things.
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance. Insurance sucks.
Insurance is a scam.
Insurance is stupid. But
We
Okay,
could do
that's
an
not
episode on insurance.
We probably will at some point.
yeah, I'm sure we will. We're going to talk about everything else under the sun. So,
Yep.
And if it's something that you guys want to hear us talk about, leave it in the comments. We
Yep.
will get to it eventually.
Eventually.
Yes, eventually. Okay, we're going to start that off because that is something that I missed, and we didn't bring this up. But
What's that?
the Amanda Show. Old 90s Nickelodeon. Amanda Bynes. All that. That was another episode.
Is somebody going to tell John what happened?
No, I already know what happened.
Okay.
That's why I said the old 90s.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they
it
were
still
abused
did
too.
happen.
They were
We
abused
just weren't
too.
aware of it until recently.
It still happened, but it still old 90s Nickelodeon was the top tier television back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't have
Nope,
cable
early 2000s
back in the day.
Nickelodeon was way better. Drake and Josh is better than the whole Amanda Show.
Drake and Josh got their start on the Amanda Show.
And I
Yeah,
didn't
the
have
actors,
cable.
but the
Well,
show
yeah.
itself is better. It's of more value and it does more for society.
But see, that's the thing, though, is because of the Amanda Show and all that. Actually, I think it was all that first, and then the Amanda Show, and then Drake and Josh came from that. So without all that, you wouldn't have Drake and Josh.
But you can actually draw. It's a crazy like genealogical line from
Of course
all
it is.
that to Sam and Cat.
I hate Sam and Cap.
Me too. But it goes all that to the Amanda Show because what Nickelodeon does is they force these kids to compete And then they have the side characters get spin-offs if they're popular enough.
Yes.
So all that, the Amanda Show comes from all that. Then you have Drake and Josh comes from the Amanda Show. Then you have iCarly, Miranda Cosgrove comes from Drake and Josh, and then Sam and Cat. Sam, the side character of iCarly, getting her own show.
Yes.
So you have like a crazy genealogy spanning almost 30 years
Yes.
of these shows.
Are you saying you want your own spinoff, Noah, from our podcast?
I do want my own spinoff, and I want Dan Schneider to produce it.
Okay.
Because then I can find him.
Ah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So
moving on.
anyway,
No, I think that's appropriate topic. Because is it wrong to want to hurt child abusers?
no, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I miss antenna TV.
What do you
Like-
mean antenna?
And like antenna TV, analog antenna TV. There
Something
was
other than streaming.
Yes, there was once a point in time where I could just take a dusty old TV set out of the basement, plug it in, and it would pick up channels all on its own without a converter box.
Yeah, but it would pick up the 4 channels that were available and then nothing else.
Yeah, I remember if you tuned, I think it was a shortwave radio into a certain UHF station, you could hear the audio wave, the audio from one of the major broadcasting stations. I can't remember what it was, but like it was because it was on the subcarrier or something. Like you were tuning into that TV channel with the radio.
What we need to get, Dave, is we need to get him like... So I work in the RV industry, right? And they have antennas that go on the RVs, like multi-directional antennas that'll like do channel scans and stuff. We need to get a mini one and hardwire it to an old TV and give that to Dave for Christmas.
You know what we need to do? If I'm gonna get a little RV with antennas on it, I could use that RV as a Radio Shack.
Oh, that was a bad pun. But
Well,
since
that's
you
a good
brought that
transition.
up,
Yes,
what
that
we
is,
are talking about things that we miss, that we grew up with, that just aren't around anymore.
yes,
And all Dave has been able to talk about since we brought this topic up is
Radio Shack.
bro,
Now-
that's the dinkiest Radio Shack.
that
That's-
looks like a mall.
Yeah, that
Radio
looks like a
Shack.
mall Radio Shack.
So, but that's the thing is I never actually went to Radio Shack.
Oh, I did all the time. See, once upon a time, I'm going to paint a picture for you. If you needed a plug or a connector or any kind of adapter you could imagine, you could go to this place called Radio Shack, and more often than not, they would have it. If you were setting up an audio system and something broke and you needed a new cable, in a pinch, you could go there and they would have it. It would be overpriced, but it would be functional, and you could get it right then and there. And if you wanted to build an electronics project and you needed resistors and transistors and ICs and all kinds of other electronic components, you could go there, and they were there. You didn't have to wait for shipping from China.
What about batteries?
Yes. So I was cleaning out my car the other day, and I uncovered an ancient artifact from a long forgotten time. These are Radio Shack branded AA's, and they're actually still good. They expire this year.
Don't open it. It's a time capsule.
See, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I told him the same
So
thing.
my rebuttal to that is that they are batteries. They are filled with acid. Sooner or later, they will start leaking and possibly doing other nasty things. So
Yes.
it's going to destroy itself sooner or later anyway, so I may as well use them while they're still good.
Yes.
Well, at
Ooh,
least take a photo with it, so we'll.
Yes, so we'll remember them.
yes. So,
Well,
go ahead.
the one thing I was going to say about Radio Shack, because I miss Radio Shack too, that was
Yeah.
going to be one of mine. Two things, just real quick. So Radio Shack, for some reason, was always closer than like Best Buy to me, right? So
Yeah, I
it
remember
was
that.
always like a convenient thing. It's kind of like the Taco Bell of electronics, because it's accessible and they have everything you could ever want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not exactly, because once upon a time, Radio Shack was actually good. They cared about the consumer. They cared about electronics. They were passionate about it. They sold all kinds of cool tech and gadgets. And then a little bit somewhere around the 90s cell phone boom, they just became a cell phone store, and there were some electronics there too. And it was mostly
Yeah.
consumer electronics. It wasn't build your own thing anymore or get a soldering iron and fix the thing you own, you know. It was just a cell phone store, and yeah, there's some electronic stuff over there.
Yeah, that was something I just never. Like I said, we had them down south.
Yeah.
because I grew up down south. But yeah, I never went in there.
You've worked in audio visual. Radio Shack, good Radio Shack, used to have like any adapter or connector or cable you needed. So if you were in the middle of a gig and something broke, you could go there and just get it. You didn't have to wait for shipping from China.
No, right. No, I get it. And I just that was just.
And I
something-
missed that.
So, and
They had pro audio gear somewhere. Somewhere I have a microphone from them still.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yes.
You've got microphones from everywhere.
Yes.
But okay,
Dude, you
so
have their,
did
have
you
their
guys?
batteries. Of course, you have their microphone.
Did you guys have a Hastings up here? Do you guys know what Hastings is?
Not ringing a bell.
Okay, so the Hastings. Well, actually, okay, so I'm gonna bring this one up just as much too. Hastings was a video rental place that you could go in, and I mean they had every single movie that you could think of on the shelf, and kind of like it was right after kind of Blockbuster kind of started going down.
Yeah. But once upon a time, Blockbuster was that to us.
Well, yes. So Hastings is like the Blockbuster. I guess it was down south. I don't really know if it was a thing up here or not. But the one thing that I remember about this, and total side note really quick, David is the one that commented that. It is his birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David.
Happy birthday, Dave.
No.
I have been told that in the past.
I don't miss those jokes. So anyway, so Hastings, and David can attest to this because this is the one thing that we grew up with is we would always go on usually like Friday nights or Saturday nights. We would go bowling. We had a bowling alley down there where we lived, and then literally right across the parking lot was Hastings, and we would go in there and we would stay until they got ready to close. Usually they closed about 11 o'clock. At 10:50. They started playing Happy Trails, the old Western song, and they would play it at a very reasonable tone.
Happy trails to you.
And it would go through, and it was usually like
we meet
a minute
again.
to a minute and a half
Yep.
clip. And at the end of the clip, they would announce, Hastings will be closing in 10 minutes. Please bring your selections up to the front. And then they would boost the volume. Every single time. So by 11 o'clock, it was blaring so loud that you were just ready to get out of there just so you didn't have to hear that song anymore.
Oh, that's perfect. I should start doing that at work instead of just shutting the music off.
Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't go over.
Well, especially if I start playing like Metallica or whatever.
True.
Metallica's going to sue me for playing their music now.
Most likely.
Yes.
They should do that at like Walmart and Meijer and like
Yes.
like just blaring closing time.
Oh, goodness.
That's actually what when did I... Oh, yeah, I used to do that at work.
Yes, you used to do closing time all the time. At
Oh,
work.
you stopped doing that?
Yeah, well,
It's kind of gotten to the point now where it's like 5 o'clock, we're out the door.
yeah.
I mean, fair enough, right?
That's about it. So, okay. So, what is something else that we guys miss? And I'm going to bring this one up because you did mention Taco Bell. And I know that they still have it, but it's just not the same since they took it away the first time, and that is the Mexican pizza. The Mexican pizza was the absolute bomb from Taco Bell. That was like the best thing on the menu. And they took it away for whatever stupid reason. Taco Bell, decided to be dumb. They kept all the nasty junk on there, like the, fried potato bowl or whatever that crap was. Yeah, it's like this little bowl, and it has like these little potato wedges, like little bitty fried potato wedges with the nacho cheese sauce and sour cream.
Yeah.
It is
Who orders that?
absolutely exactly. I don't know who orders that because it's absolutely gross.
Yeah.
But they took away the Mexican pizza, and after so many people, cried and screamed and threw a fit about it. They brought it back, but it's just not the same. It doesn't
Right.
taste the same.
Yeah, I remember the little styrofoam container of Pintos and cheese. I don't think you can order that anymore. Like, first of all, you'll never find it on the online menu. You have to order it in person if you can order it at all.
Mhm.
But it's not the little styrofoam container anymore, and I swear the plastic container's smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's things like that. And so and it kind of gets upsetting because the certain things that we talk about tonight are things that we would like for them to bring back.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's things that they take away from us and then they bring it back and it's just
It's not the same.
it's not the same, like the Mexican pizza. Every single time they take the McRib, I wish that they would just take the McRib away and just be done with it
Yeah.
altogether.
That's
'cause
just
that is absolutely gross.
That's just a marketing play. But you know what else wasn't the same when they brought it back? 4 or 5 years ago? I don't remember now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the original Pepsi Crystal was. I thought it was great.
I
mean-
was too young to remember it. I
mean,
don't remember the original. I know it was released while I was alive, but I don't remember tasting it ever.
The weird thing about it is to me it tasted like regular Pepsi, but it was just clear. So it was one of those things that just throws you off because you're used to seeing, like, how you see certain things, you can kind of taste it by the sight,
Yeah.
and that's what
actually a trick your brain plays on you. Like, you will taste things differently if you blindfold yourself.
Yeah.
That's proven.
And that was the thing that Pepsi did is they made this stuff clear, and they kind of kept the taste on it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was great.
Was this
The
also?
original.
Was that supposed to taste like the original, or was that a different flavor? I can't remember.
That was kind of a different flavor.
It's blue
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
a blue raspberry flavor almost, I think.
It sounds like a good concept, but I'll bet you they botched it because I don't remember ever tasting that stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did because I'm trying to read what that comment says and I don't understand. Haven't heard the last.
Okay.
He's probably trying to play a game and
No.
Oh,
He
I got it.
misses
Okay.
split
Okay,
screen
split
gaming.
screen gaming.
Oh,
That makes more sense. I was reading that and I'm like, I don't get that. But yes. Actual, being able to do like landline parties, like LAN parties.
Oh,
That was so much fun. I used to kick this kid's butt in Halo. I'm gonna
Noah's?
no, not Noah's. I would kick his butt in Halo.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Oh, sure you would.
Oh, I definitely would.
Nope.
Yep. With the exception of Halo 3, because Halo 3 lost me. I never really cared too much for that one. But like Halo 1, Halo 2, yeah. Me and my brother would play that constantly. And it was funny because we would play it on a screen that was probably the size of an iPad. And we would just hover around that thing and just kind of like play with each other. So it was so hard not to screen peek. But but it was fun.
Yes.
So yeah, it's, split screen gaming.
We probably
is-
reminded him of that because we're split screen,
That's very true.
and I keep
We
putting
are
slides
split
up.
screen. Yes.
Yeah, I remember me and my brothers used to. We played a lot of Halo, but we played a lot of Star Wars Battlefront
Yes.
split screen.
Yep.
Oh, it was so fun. And,
And
they
see-
they just came out with a remastered edition
Yes.
of
Yeah.
both of those games. So
And that brings me back to the whole they kind of not really took it away, but they brought it back and it's just not the same.
Yeah.
I liked the original Battlefront. The newest one and even the Battlefront 2 was at the squadrons and all that other kind of stuff. It's not the same. So, for the sake of everybody, if you're going to put something out there, if you decide to take it away, don't screw it up when you bring it back. 'Cause
Right.
That's all people
Bring back the
ever
original
do.
recipe.
Yes. Yes.
Put the cocaine back in Coke.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Coca-Cola.
So really really quick and just very, like off the wall topic as normal.
Of course.
Did you know that there are two people that are still living that actually know the original recipe chicken or the original recipe for KFC? And they are not allowed to travel with each other at all.
Right.
They have to travel separately just in case one of them dies, so that way they could pass it on. Because if those two die, then, well, KFC's screwed even more than they are.
Well,
They have to have it written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they do, but
from what I've heard,
they're
they
the
don't
only
even use
ones.
the original recipe anymore.
No. Well, whoever gets the original
But
recipe.
technically, whoever or whatever company owns KFC now, because they're not family owned anymore or
No,
anything.
no,
It's another fast food conglomerate and whatever.
It's owned
but
by Pepsi.
oh, of course,
Yeah, that
that
makes
that
sense.
tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, Pepsi has the copyright to the original recipe, so no one else can use it.
I guess that is.
KFC isn't using it either.
But every time I go there, it's like nobody ever gets the original recipe anyway. They get the extra crispy,
Yeah, of
which
course.
I think the extra
That's the
crispy
whole
is
point
just
of
as
fried
good,
chicken is
so-
crispiness.
Right. So another thing that I really miss, and I don't know if you guys remember it. Dave might, but Orbit's drink. Now, here's the thing about it is I don't remember a single flavor of what it tasted like. I just remember choking on the little candies every time you went to take a drink and and you would suck down like half of that bottle of the candy that was in there. But yes, Orbit's drink was it was almost like not even like a fruity drink. It was just kind of like maybe like a fruit flavored type drink.
Just like the Crystal Pepsi, I don't think I've ever actually tasted one.
Yeah, I can't remember like the actual taste of it. I remember it being super, super, super sweet. And it was because it's like a soda that had these little candy balls that were in it.
Mm-hmm.
And those candies, would just make it absolutely just unforgivingly sweet. But I mean,
And you miss these things?
well, again, it was something that I grew up with that I just don't
Okay.
have anymore. So,
I hated this. I miss it so much.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
It almost sounds like they took soda and were like, okay, how can we make this more like Lucky Charms?
That makes some sense,
That kind of
yeah.
makes some sense. Yeah, that kind of does make some sense. Obviously, they took it away because choking hazards. Yeah. They started having to put warning labels on everything and decided to take that one away.
See our last podcast for a whole episode on that.
Oh, yes. And we will bring that back up again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The whole warning label thing is just, that's gotten out of hand.
I don't remember what we called that episode, but
I don't either, but I do know now that I miss common sense. People who had common sense back in the day. So, speaking of candy, I know we're just like we're kind of rolling through this a little bit because we do have a few to go off of. And
I don't
we
have
are-
slides of everything we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
we don't have
just-
slides for everything. But speaking of candy, I don't know if you guys ever had this. I remember this, and I will give a specific reason why. But back in 1991,
Oh,
1990, 1991,
I was 4.
the Batman Returns? No.
Oh, Batman Returns merch was everywhere.
Yes, the Batman Returns movie was out, and these little things were everywhere. Now,
I think I remember my brother had one of these.
Yeah, they're just a little Batmobile toy that actually kind of like carried over as a piggy bank in a way, because if I remember right, it had a little slot
that's
that was in
right.
the back of it.
Yeah.
And it had candy inside of the car. Now the candy was absolutely the worst candy that you could ever imagine tasting.
Right.
But those cars, like I said, I had multiples of those, and I remember the reason why is back. I used to after school I'd go over to my grandparents, and we would go to the store, and I bought one, and I loved it, not because of the candy, but because of the car. And so the next time I came over, my grandpa literally had a box of just, I don't know, probably 20, 30 of these things.
Oh, wow.
And so I had these little cars just all over their house to the point where they got tired of them because every time they stepped anywhere, they were stepping on one.
Do you have any that are still intact?
No.
Oh.
No. That was the thing about it. But see, back then, it's like we
It's
had
a toy.
this stuff. Yeah, it was a toy. We played with it. We broke
You took it
and
for
then we
granted, and now it's a
Exactly.
collector's item, and you could retire right now if you'd just saved a couple of those.
Well, I don't know about retiring because that picture actually, I pulled it up off of eBay and it was only for like $15 for that thing. It was
Oh, heck, I'd probably buy one of those just cause.
Just
like,
to
that's
have
not
it.
that
yeah.
expensive.
Don't ever eat the candy out of it because again, it
If-
was the
yeah,
absolute
if it
worst
still comes
candy
with the
that you
candy-
could ever imagine.
Well, here's the thing. I kind of miss like I'm assuming it was kind of like a chalky, like just pure sugar candy with barely any flavor.
kind of like
Or maybe it was slightly sour or something. I kind of miss candies like that.
kind of like how Sweet Tarts
yeah,
kind of were. That's
Sweet
kinda how
Tarts
they
or
were.
Smarties.
Yeah.
It
Smarties.
sounds kind of like Pez.
See, I like Pez.
You know, okay, so
I
Pez
meant to
was
get a
actually
photo
more
of a
close to
Pez
it.
dispenser. Pez is still a thing though.
Yeah. But not the originals.
Yeah,
the
no,
originals were always
And you
best.
you can't find like classic designs for Pez dispensers anymore. No one puts any imagination into it.
Right. So
Now I'm gonna go buy some Pez.
so going, and it's funny because that was the one thing that my grandparents always bought. Now my other grandparents, they bought those. I don't know if you remember the Squeeze-Its.
Oh, I
Kool-Aids.
forgot to get a slide of those because I think you mentioned them. But
yeah,
yeah.
Squeeze-Its Kool-Aids were like the little bottles, not like the the
Yeah.
Sunny D pouches or whatever. Not Sunny D. Sunny D doesn't do pouches. Capri Suns. That's what I was thinking. of.
kind of
Not like the pouches. They were actual like the little bottles.
little plastic bottles that you squeeze. I think you can
Yep.
technically still kind of get those.
You can, but again, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. And they had like, what was it? They had the Squeeze-Its. They had the Kool-Aid, like the Kool-Aid brand ones. They had the Mondos. Mondos were always really good. And it was another one of those things that I don't really remember the flavor all that much. I just remember choking on the top because I would always put it in my mouth and just like chew on it, and then I would choke on it.
Oh,
So-
speaking of that, do you remember the little wax bottles with the itty bitty amount of sugar water inside?
Yes.
With the colored sugar water.
Yes,
Those were fun.
gross. Those
Oh,
were
and
gross.
candy necklaces.
Candy
I'm sure you can
necklaces
still
were
get
good.
those somewhere.
You can buy a lot of candy things that we're not going to bring up in this podcast.
Well, there actually is like a bulk candy store just down the road. I think they have a lot of the nostalgic stuff like that too.
That's true.
Might have to go there one day.
So I think that's basically all that I had. I don't know about the rest of you guys because that was pretty much everything that I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to like a dedicated candy store as an adult is such a weird thing because you have all the money now to buy all the candy you want.
But you know that it's financially irresponsible and not healthy to do so.
Yeah, and you like when you're a kid, you always want candy. When you're an
Yeah.
adult, it's like occasional, right?
No, see, it's the exact opposite for me because I grew up. We'd go to the candy store, we'd go to a store, and we were told, I don't have the money for that. And now I go into a candy store and I look at the prices and I'm like, I don't have the money for that.
Yep.
Because the prices are just astronomical nowadays.
Yes.
And they're not even the same quality anymore.
Right. So, speaking of things that you can't really get anymore, here's the thing. I wasn't old enough to have them when you could get them. And when they brought it back, I'm sure it wasn't exactly the same as it was, but yeah, I was kind of disappointed by these, but just does anyone remember when things like this used to be fun? Like, it's fun.
Yes.
When did they stop designing drinks and food to be fun? Like, we know it's unhealthy, but at least make it fun, make it colorful, make it interesting, you know?
I think they stopped doing that when that particular generation started growing up.
Uh-huh.
Because, again, a lot of this stuff was back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And as the kids started growing up, they just kind of like started slowly getting rid of it again. And now they're bringing it back for nostalgia's sake, but
Yeah, but they're not bringing it back for the kids. They're bringing it back for the adults that remember the things from their childhoods.
right.
And they're not putting the same amount of effort into it.
No, because we were depressed when they took it away from us, and now we're depressed that they brought it back and screwed it up.
Yes.
Again, I'm going
I'd
to
rather
keep
have the
bringing
fond
that one.
memories, you know?
Yes. So, now, something that, and I don't remember which one of you guys brought it up, and it's a place that I've never actually been to. I remember them being everywhere, but I never actually went, and I don't know anybody that actually went, but Quiznos. I do remember that,
The ad campaign.
the actual ad.
That was the best ad campaign of any brand ever.
But I have no recollection of actually what any of it tastes like.
Yeah, me
Quiz-
neither. I think I ate there once years and years
Quiz-
ago.
Quiznos is the best sub place ever. It is not even close.
I mean, aren't they
any
still
other
around?
No, they're bankrupt, and they've been bankrupt for like 15 years.
Yeah, I knew
Oh.
they were gone, but
Okay.
I never.
They got destroyed by Subway. They got destroyed.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
So, but no, Quiznos was great because, like, they I don't know if Subway wasn't toasting their stuff, but Quiznos was like known for their toasted subs and like their warm
Yeah.
subs.
Because they toast them!
Yeah, like they were so good.
How does that go?
I don't remember.
Oh man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
That was the
Quiznos
greatest
was the
ad
best.
campaign ever.
Yeah. See, I don't remember Quiznos. Like again, I remember them being there. We just never went.
Well, for me, it's a nostalgia thing. So, my mom used to take me and my brother there a lot, and so I just have a lot of like childhood memories of it. So, it's just like yeah, just kind of I miss it because I miss that time, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Just like the way I miss antenna TV and Radio Shack. Like I miss a simpler time in my life where anything seemed possible, right? And I'm sure you have like family memories and all that good stuff too.
Well,
that
hey,
kind
man,
of thing.
I mean, let's not be super pessimistic. I mean, life is still full of possibilities, right? I mean, it really is.
Are you sure about that? How old are you again?
22?
Yeah, wait till you're 33.
Dude, it's not. Look, no, but seriously, even like, I don't want to get super deep here, but no, life is full of opportunity. Seize the day, man. Like, you want to do something, do it, make it happen. Be optimistic and strive after that thing you want.
And and I think as Noah was trying to bring up, I think that is generally a part of this episode is not so much things that we remember that we just wish we could bring back. It was the memories behind it.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
again, I don't remember what the Orbits drink tastes like. I just remember them being there and, specific little memories about them. I don't remember exactly, I do remember the nasty flavor of those candies and the Batman thing, but it's the memory behind it that you make with those things.
Again, I miss the chalky little candies, like the kind you get out of the pacifier ones you get out of the gumball machines at various stores, grocery store. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I know
Pacifier candy?
Yeah, I don't know the pacifier.
Or maybe it was
candy.
UFO shaped. I don't remember.
Now I remember like the whole back in the day, like they always had like
They were basically giant sweet tarts,
the big like
but not as good.
sucker things because you had like you had ring pops, you had the
Oh, yes.
pacifiers, you had like the baby bottle one. That was just weird.
I want to
But-
propose to a woman with a ring pop.
Okay.
Don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't want the low quality women who will settle for the ring pop. Okay? That's the lie. That's the lie of our culture. It's, I want a girl who doesn't care if I get her a ring pop. No, you don't.
I
Girl
mean,
who
if it's a
doesn't
blue
care.
raspberry ring pop, that's not so low quality.
No. Girls who will marry a guy for a ring pop don't shower. It's just a fact. You want a woman who's
Wow.
clean and has some care. You know, you don't have to get her the most expensive ring. You can get one of those like gemstone rings that's like $300 or whatever. Do that. Cool.
See, that's where you could go to the gumball machines and get those little fake rings out of it.
Oh, maybe it was that, and I'm confusing the shape with a pacifier. I don't know.
But okay, wait a minute.
But
You
said
don't
it
know
was
the
a
difference
candy.
between a ring and a pacifier?
Dave, one is a choking hazard for a baby, and the other is a helpful tool. Okay, so
Which is which?
well,
Yeah.
a ring is a choking hazard.
True.
Eh,
True. You do get the life choked out of you once you put it on.
yes.
So anyway, moving on.
No
but-
past trauma here.
See, but that's the thing. That is the thing about it is a lot of these things that we bring up have to do with like certain memories, and like what was mentioned in the chat was like split screen gaming. I mean, I remember that. I remember the countless hours of LAN parties and having people scream at you from 2 rooms away because you killed them, instead of now it's like
Also, I remember there was a split screen mode in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game on the Genesis.
yeah.
I remember that for some reason.
And see, like those types of games, like those are the type of games that I miss. Like we talk about video games, those are the type of games I miss were the old school, like the old style games where it was like where it was I lost my train of thought.
What were we talking about?
Where it was, yes, exactly. No, the old school games, like where you actually had to like be good at a game in order to to beat it, and now it's just like there's so many just battle royale games that are out there, and that's like all that there is anymore. And there's no story, there's no skill set, everything is hackable. And now I'm going off on an old man rant because
I mean, technically
But that's why people like games like Dark Souls and things like that, because it's challenging, it has a deep story behind it. Like there are some games that do kind of embody that difficulty and that challenge.
If we want to get technical, the NES and the Sega Genesis were hackable. It's just that it wasn't widespread knowledge.
Well,
at
okay,
the time.
but back then it wasn't like, it is hackable, but it's not like it is nowadays. Because again, nowadays there's not the splits, not that many split screen games anymore. Everything's done online. Everything's done. You're playing with somebody over in Asia. And 9 times out of 10, the people that are on those games, like they hack it. They'll hack the game, or they'll do something in the game that just makes it where there's no skill set behind it.
Right.
And it makes it not fun for everybody else that's actually going to play. I play video games every great once in a while now. And the main reason why I don't play much anymore is because I can't stand the people that I play with.
Right.
I have my select group of people that I would play a game with, and it was mainly just because
they played fair.
Yeah. And we were all like kind of in the same skill set. So we would play off each other and just have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I miss fun.
Yes.
Fun would be nice.
Yes. So, well, no, I won't go into that. We'll go into that one another time. So, yeah, what are some other things that we missed just really quick? I mean, we can kind of rapid fire it. Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes, as a whole.
Yes, as a whole. Good Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
We
should bring those back.
Because you brought it up earlier.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
My first console, actually, even though I'm significantly younger than you guys.
Yes.
Was
my
Genesis?
first console was the Sega Genesis that my older brother had.
Nice.
And that we played that even when the Xbox came out, because we didn't have an Xbox.
Right.
So we were playing Sega Genesis in like 2006. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
That thing
great.
was a solid console.
It still is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
The
absolutely.
originals are still.
2006 is the year the Wii came out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's the
oh
same year I
It's
graduated.
been out that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wii is old, dude. Because the
I-
Wii is
well, I
just
knew
a,
it was-
like
Wii is
GameCube
old.
with extra steps.
Yes, Wii is.
Yeah,
Yes,
Wii is old.
No, I remember the Wii. Like I remember when it came out. I just didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was 2006.
I missed the Dreamcast, the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, I never had one.
I had one, and when it finally died, it literally did a like a Chinese or Japanese error code.
Ooh.
It literally turned everything into Japanese, and you could not change it back.
Ouch.
So, like, you would be sitting there playing, and like I remember one of the games I think was Crazy Taxi, and the original was like the Crazy Taxi was like it's like you better hurry, that type of thing because you're running behind. Yeah, it switched its Japanese right before it died.
Ooh.
And so, like, you'd be sitting there playing, and all of a sudden you hear like, "Da da da da." Yeah, I know that was a really bad Japanese.
Yes.
Please don't cancel us for that.
You're
but,
a very bad
that's-
Japanese person.
Yes, I'm a very bad Japanese person. But hey, that's why we drop bombs.
That wasn't the reason for the atomic bomb. The reason for the atomic bomb was to prevent a lengthy invasion that would cost more American lives. But
yes,
okay.
and then they still came back even stronger with their their pop bands and sushi.
With Godzilla.
I love sushi.
Sushi is good.
That's something I missed.
And anime.
The ever, I mean, I guess it's still here, but the ever-present threat of nuclear war, like that was a fun time.
Yeah, I don't miss
Why
that
do
at
you
all.
miss that, Dave? What?
It just,
But
I don't
what
know.
about-
It seemed like a bigger deal when I was a kid. I don't know.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's-
no, no.
Like, you miss the Cold War? Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
wasn't alive during the Cold War.
What was the big
How
deal?
old do you think I am?
The
I don't
big
know.
deal back when we were growing up was quicksand.
Quicksand.
Yes, quicksand was like such a great big deal, growing up. And then
Yeah,
I have yet to actually
I've never
find
fallen in quicksand.
No. So I feel like as a childhood we were lied to, constantly.
Yes.
Oh
No doubt.
I miss No Doubt.
Ah.
Yes.
What's No Doubt? I'm sorry.
It was a band.
Have you ever heard of Gwen Stefani? Hollaback
Yeah.
Girl. She was
Yeah.
the lead singer of No Doubt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the
That's
song
weird.
"Don't Speak" or "Spiderwebs" or what was the other one?
Something like phone.
I'm Just a Girl.
I'm Just a Girl.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that is another one. I hear that one a few times at work. Cause
Yeah, because I play
some of
that
the
at
radio,
work.
Well, that too, and some of the radio stations that the guys
Yeah.
listen to in the back play that.
It's technically like classic rock. It's not classic rock, but it's like older.
It's called dad rock now.
Yeah,
apparently.
whatever.
Yeah, that feels so old. when
Gwen
you say that.
Stefani is never dad rock.
No, but No Doubt was,
Yeah, they're from
because
that
No
era.
Doubt was like mid '90s. I think
Something
it
like
was.
that.
Yeah, early to mid '90s, and
Right,
they
but
were.
I feel like dad rock isn't just a timeline. It's like a vibe to it. Like Breaking Benjamin is like dad rock.
I think it depends on who you talk to, because I agree where it's more of a vibe, but a lot of people are like, oh no, '90s is considered dad rock, because you don't want to call it classic rock because that makes you feel
That's
even
like
older.
the 70s
Yeah.
and 80s.
So
Right, but
Yeah.
if you make it all '90s rock, then you're going to be including like all the pop
Like,
rock.
I wouldn't
math rock
consider
stuff.
Nirvana dad rock.
I do.
I don't consider Nirvana. Period.
You don't like Nirvana?
No.
Why?
What about Foo Fighters?
Drain You is a great song. Heart Shaped Box is a great song.
I just no. And maybe it was just one of those things where I never really listened to it growing up. But as I get older, and I do kind of like expand my horizons in music and stuff. I say expand it. I start listening to different stuff, and I've tried to get into like a Nirvana kick, like just listen to a little bit of it, and it just never worked.
Not your thing.
No.
Yeah, I did find an interesting thing with music, and that is I tend to appreciate it about 15 to 20 years after it was popular.
Yeah.
Like today, I appreciate Britney Spears a lot more than I did when, in the late 90s. I definitely appreciate Avril Lavigne a lot more than, early 2000s. I love her now.
Yeah. I'm sure she doesn't know you.
I agreed.
So
Avril, if you see this, love you.
we miss you.
Yes. She's still around.
Well, yeah, I know, but she's not making the music like she
Well,
used to.
there's a theory that she's not. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've heard
the
that
body
one.
theory. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I've heard.
I mean,
that one.
isn't that the exact same conspiracy theory that they had about Paul McCartney?
And
about Paul
every
McCartney?
celebrity ever.
Yeah, every single celebrity you could ever imagine. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley. There's multiple body doubles.
Well, maybe Michael Jackson was Elvis Presley. Did you ever
No,
think about that?
Michael Jackson. They didn't even try. They replaced that short black kid with a tall white man. They didn't even try. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's got like cancer or something." I don't know.
It was like the most just random mid-season change.
Uh-huh.
Like I think we had an episode about that where it was like some of the changes that they do in TV shows where there's there's such a character change or like a cast shift.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like the ultimate cast shift that you could ever think of.
Yeah.
So all right, well, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, did we touch on everything we wanted to talk about? Saturday morning cartoons, Radio Shack. There were no Saturday morning cartoons about Radio Shack. Oh, G.I. Joe was basically a giant toy commercial, wasn't it?
True.
Yeah.
True.
So tie-ins like that we don't see much of that anymore. I mean, it's worse now, but
Yeah,
at the same time, we
even
don't
worse,
see it like
but
that.
It's stuff that we don't really care about nowadays. But
Except Star Wars. That's the problem with Star Wars is brand dilution, but we'll touch on that another time.
Yes. So this has been entertaining for us. Brings back some
Yes.
memories. Leave comments on what you miss the most, and we can even bring them up on another episode because I'm sure this will come up again. Kind of all of our episodes kind of go round, like full
round
circle,
and round.
basically. So, but yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching.
Yep.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe. I like it that we can say that now.
Yes, yes, we say that now. It's annoying when people say that. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes,
don't forget to
but-
subscribe.
but-
Noah, don't forget to subscribe.
Okay.
Perfect.
So again, thank you guys. Don't forget, like the
subscribe.
video, subscribe, leave a comment on anything that you want us to talk about.
Yes, engagement that will help us.
Engagement. We do like to talk about anything that other people want to talk about, and
Not the other kind of engagement where wedding ring and
you're the one who brought it up with a ring pop. So
yes.
now I
not
wanna
that
ring-
kind of engagement.
Now I want a ring pop. You know what? I'm gaining that extra half a pound back. I'm going back to Taco Bell after this.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been great. I'm John.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Noah.
Have a great night, guys. Yeah, I'm really hungry now.